Video today to show you what not to do. So today I was out on a ride. I did not check my sealant. It's been a few months, didn't renew it. They say you should renew it about every 3 months. I haven't renewed it in probably 5 months. So today I had a flat tire in the morning. I aired it up and the tire ended up going soft, cut my ride short. So I'm going to renew my sealant in the tires. So I'm going to show you how to do that really fast, really easy. And you should stay on it about every 3 months. Also, something that's good to have, which I did not have, which would have got me home, my wife had to come pick me up, was if I would have had one of these. So this screws on your Presta and allows you to use regular air at a gas station. So I would have been able, I was out of CO2s and I would have been able to get home, keep putting pressure in, and got home. So anyway, so without the sealant, it would not seal or keep pressure very long. So anyway, so I'm going to show you how to refresh it really quickly without having to take the wheels off the bike. And it's actually really easy. All you need obviously is your sealant. Okay, so I do use orange sealant, but again, I'm not a sponsored rider by them. They don't give this to me for free or anything like that. Now it says usage on the back here, which I'll try to get close enough. A 700C tire, 1 to 2 ounces. I always put 2 ounces. The reason why is if I have a puncture on the road, the sealant's gonna spray out a little bit till it clogs the hole. So if you're at 1 ounce, you're always gonna be topping it back off. As a rule of thumb, if you have a major, if you have 2 ounces of sealant in there, you will not have to do anything with it after that if it's small. Okay, let me show you how I do this. So I pour the 2 ounces in my cup, and it's not a, you know, if you're a little over, it's not a big deal. You can use a syringe, but you really don't need it with the cup. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and takes probably 10-15 minutes to do both times. You can do it a lot of different ways. You can pour it in a cup. Since I'm going to use a syringe anyway, I'm going to put 2 ounces, which is a full syringe. Okay, so longer hose. Then you just like you're just going to pull it up. Get as much sealant in there as you can. So I'm going to go to just a little below 2, but probably with what's in the hose. So you want to hold this up like this so it doesn't spill all over the place. Hence the paper towel. Now you can do it 2 ways. The way I'm going to do it on the front tire is I remove the valve stem, and then I'm going to use the syringe to put the sealant in the tires. Okay, you could also remove, on a mountain bike it's really easy to just remove the bead and just pour it in with the cup. So I'm going to show you how that works here in just a second. And I'll do the same on the back. So you got to make sure the tires are obviously flat so you can redo the sealant. Very low pressure. The back's holding a little bit of pressure, but the front wasn't holding anything. Gotta make sure all of the air is out. Then you can just remove sometimes the valve stems are easy to get by hand, but you want to tighten them up. Pull it out like that. Okay. Okay, so I have the bike in I don't have a stand, so I just hang it with my scale. And what I'm going to do is make sure obviously the tires are flat, which this one is. So you definitely want to use the hose that has it screws onto the Presta, or it'll make a mess. So basically, you're just going to screw it on to your valve stem. Now it'd be easier if I had a stand, I will say. But I don't have a stand, so I have to use this way. Now there's a lot of crap on my hose. That's on the outside, not the inside. Okay, so then you just basically inject it into the tire. Okay? You can rotate the wheel like this, get the sealant in. Take this off. Obviously clean up any sealant on the floor, because when it dries, it's pretty. You definitely want to put your valve stem back in. Now, since I didn't unseat the tire, it should air up with a normal floor pump. That's one of the reasons of doing it that way. The valve stem back in. And you always want to clean that valve stem off to make sure there's no gunk, because sometimes the sealant will get in there. Okay. Clean up any excess sealant. Grab the floor pump, and it should air straight up. And you won't hear it pop, because the tire is already sealed on the rim. I usually put a little more pressure the first time I put the sealant in, because sometimes you have to ride it to really get it to seat in there. So I usually run about 70 psi on these tires. They're 700 by 30s, so that's why there's a little less pressure, and it's tubeless. All right, so that's 70 pounds of pressure. Now it's good to spin the wheel after, let that sealant circulate around in that tire. And as you see, I didn't need a compressor, anything like that. So I just do a couple rotations like that. Pretty easy. Gets that sealant nice and fresh in there and gets it going. Then put the valve stem back on, the cap, and that's the front tire. All done. So now we're going to do the rear tire. Okay, so we're going to repeat the same process basically. We're going to put this on. See if I can do it without making as big a mess as I did on the last one. You should do this about every 3 to 4 months. I let this go too long, and I ended up not being able to hold air today. And the reason I knew it was the lack of sealant is it just wouldn't seal. I didn't have a cut or anything in the tire per se. So then you just insert it in. Look, there's not one drop that's okay. So that's in the tire. Get it going around. Remove. We have a little drippage from the syringe itself, but everything went into the tire, so there's a little bit. Clean that off. Clean the floor. You don't want it sticking to your floor. Let's put the valve stem back in. Again,
Let's clean the valve stem, make sure there's no, that this actuates and goes in and out like that so you can get air in there, okay? Let's put this back in. Again, the tire is seated, so we don't have to worry about reseating the tire. Okay, grab the floor pump. And you should be in business. And it's pumping right up. So I'm going to put 75 psi in this. That's what I usually run in the back. Okay, air went in perfect. Gonna put the valve cap back on. I'm gonna spin it a few times, let that sealant get in there. Do the front again. You can do that a couple times just to make sure that everything seals up. You get your best seal probably on your first real ride. So, but anyway, so that's the fast way to not have to remove your wheels. Took me really 15 minutes to do it, and it's good to go. So I hope you like this. Don't be afraid of tubeless. It's a great way to go. Even though I got picked up today, it was my own fault. It wasn't Tubeless's fault. So I've been riding tubeless now for 3-4 years, so no real issues. So with that, if you like this video, I want to see more content like this, I'll do some more. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till the next time, get out and ride your bike. It's hot here today in California. It's about 100 degrees, so that's why I'm sweating like a pig.